Bonjour, tout le monde. Bienvenue à Learning Language. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Learning Language. So today's session is very important. We are going to discuss about the group of French verbs. So as we know the verbs in English, there are verbs in French which are divided into groups. So what is the basis? Okay. Now, what do you mean by verb? A verb is a word which expresses an action. Okay, and it also indicates when the action or the state of being take place, either in the past tense or in the future or in the present tense. Okay, now the French verbs are divided into two categories. One is regular includes group 1 and group 2, whereas ER regular verbs are there and IR regular verbs are there. And another group is irregular one, which is a group 3, which involves IR irregular verbs. So we will discuss the groups in a detailed note that why these verbs are called regular or irregular. So it is useful to classify verbs in these groups because different conjugation rules apply to each one of them. Okay, and the correct conjugated forms of a French verbs are obtained from its basic, which is called an unconjugated form, and called the infinitive. Remember the infinitive. Okay, infinitive is very important in French because these infinitive are considered to be French forms which are ending with er or ir, I or re in terms of groups. Okay, got it? Okay, so just a quick recap what I just taught. I told you that the conjugated forms are obtained from the unconjugated forms and it is called the infinitive. Okay, and the French infinitive forms are ending with er, ir or re in terms of verbs. Okay, now let's go to group 1. Now this is the most common group. There are almost 6,000 verbs are there in this group. Okay, and these verbs are used 80%. Okay, sorry, this group consists 80% of the verbs in terms of usage of verbs. Okay, now these first point is that these verbs are with er. Okay, they are ending with er. So these verbs are very regular in nature. Regular means that all the verbs which are ending with er, they follow the similar patterns. They are very regular in nature. The examples are like acheter, which is to buy, appeler, to call, parler, to speak, voyager, to travel. Okay, let's do the conjugation of one verb, sorry. So we are doing the conjugation for parler, which is called to speak. The infinitive form is er here, parler. You can see parler. Infinitive form is er. Just drop the er. Now what is left? Parle. Okay. So in parle, just add in the on the topmost line you can see the subject pronouns je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Okay, and just below that this is the infinitive form for er regular verb, which is e, then es for tu, il, elle, e, nous, on, vous, easy, and il, elle we have ent. Just apply the conjugation in the similar way which is mentioned over there. Just add the words which are mentioned just above. So we were with parler. So for je we will pronounce it parle. With you, parle. Il, elle, parle. Now you must have seen that je, tu and il, elle, the spelling is e we have added in par for je. For tu we have added es. For il, elle we have added e. But still the pronunciation is same. Okay. Now, I would like to tell you that when we add E or S or ES and ENT, all four of them are silent. In, in case of ER verbs, it is always silent. So we will pronounce the same way. All four of them in the same way. We will pronounce all four of them same way. Okay. And in case of nu and vu, the pronunciation is different because in nu we add ons in the end of the verb, and in vu we add ez. Okay. Now let's do the pronunciation of nu and vu. So we have added ons in parle, parlons. For vous, parler. Okay, I'll just do a quick recap of it. Parle, 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 parlons, parler, parle. Okay, remember in case of je, tu, il, elle and il, elle plural, we have to add e, es, e and ent respectively, but the pronunciation of all four of them will be same. Got it? This is for ER regular verbs, the verbs which are ending with ER. Okay, let's move to group 2 now. And in case if you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section. Okay, I know this is a very massive thing. Please write it in the comment section. This is a group 2 verb. Here, IR ending verbs form the second groups. Although these verbs are end on IR, but they are very regular in nature. Okay, they are not irregular at all. Okay, so don't get confused by ending IR. They all conjugate in the same way. They belongs to the same family, which is IR. Okay, now let's have a look at the examples. So in this category, we have agir, which is to act, choisir, to choose, courir, to run. So let's have a look at the example from this verb. Okay, this is fini. As you can see, the infinitive form, which is IR in the end of the verb, which means to finish. Sorry, fini means to finish, and the infinitive form IR, we will drop it. And then what is left now? The stem, or you can say the root is left, which is fini. Oh, fin, sorry, FIN. Now, similarly as we did in parle case, on the top layer you can see the subject pronoun, below one the conjugation for this verb in the present tense. For je we have is, for tu we have is, for il and elle singular cases we have it, for nu we have ison, ISSONS, for vous we have ise, ISSEZ, and for il, elle plural we have ISSENT. So what will be the pronunciation for fini case? Okay, for fini the pronunciation will be, for je it is finis, for tu it is same, finis. As you can see, the add-on is same. For il, elle singular it is fini, t is silent. For nous, finissons. For vous, finissez. For il, elle plural, it is finis. Okay, just do the quick recap. Finis, finis, fini, finissons, finissez, finis. Okay, now you do. I hope you can see that IR conjugation is different from ER. Okay, guys, just remember the conjugation in the present tense according to the infinitive form of each and every verb. Now, in group 2, we have another infinitive form, which is RE. So, in this group, you will find there are some verbs which end on RE. Okay, and they also conjugate in the same way. Example of this verb is warned, which means to sell. Okay, now in group 2 we have IR category verbs also and RE category. Okay, but in group 1 we have only ER verbs, ER category verbs. So let's see the conjugation for warned in present tense. Top layer, you can see the subject pronoun je, tu, il, nous, vous, il plural. Okay, the conjugation for RE category verb is S for you, S for tu, nothing for ill, nous for ons, vous for easy, ill for plural, in ent. Okay, now what will be the conjugation? I mean, what is the pronunciation? For je, it is warned. Spelling is VEND. We have dropped the RE, the infinitive form. So VEND, we have added the S for je. It is warned. Sorry, warned. Sorry, warned is for the unconjugated form of the verb. It is warned. VEND-S. S is silent. Tu, it is same, warned. Then for ill, it is the same. There is nothing has been added. It is wand. Wand. For nous, wandon. We have added ons. For vous, wandé. And for ill plural, wand. We have added ent. Just do a quick recap. Vont, vont, wand, wandon, wandé, wand. Any doubt? Please write it in the comment section. Now let's move to the last group, which is irregular. So as its name indicates, these sort of verbs are highly irregular in nature. They do not follow any pattern. These verbs are, their conjugation is different from regular verbs. These verbs end with either ER, as we know RE is a very irregular verb, then IR, RE and OIR. Okay, so we will be learning about these verbs, irregular verbs, in a detailed note and in a separate video, because that will be going to be a very big, huge video. Okay, and before ending this video, I would like to do some sort of bullet points to tell you guys. First of all, we have verbs like etre, OR and RE, which are very common verbs. These verbs are not, these are very irregular verbs, so these are not the part of a group. Okay, one more thing, I just taught you group 1 was ER, group 2 was RE and IR, and group 3 is with all these 4 ER, IR, RE, OIR. So in some places or in some books, you will find that these verbs are divided into in a different way. Okay, but that does not matter, guys, because what matters is the conjugation. Today whatever we did was in the present tense. Okay, just remember the present tense. That is also very important. Conjugation lies in the present tense. What we did today. Okay, these irregular verbs are very few, just the 20% of the French verbs. Okay, there's no trick or there's no method to remember these verbs, either in regular or in irregular category, or belongs to whatever group, but you guys have to memorize it. That's the only option. Okay, and one more thing, guys, just remember that before, instead of writing, what is more important is the pronunciation. So half of the time pronunciation of most of the verbs are same. Okay, as you remember, we did parler verb. Okay, so just keep remembering that that's how the French kids learn the language, that the pronunciation is same. Okay, and by the time they get into the writing, they are already memorized it. So that was all about the French verb. Guys, remember this series is going to be very huge. This is the part 1 video. And if you like it, please hit like, share, subscribe. Keep watching Learning Language. Stay tuned.